Tube, it's Janet and today I've got my August Might Be Read list of books. For Shelf Slam, our August topic is books beginning with the initials E for Eleanor, B for Brittany and J for Janet, which is me. All the three of us that are taking part in Shelf Slam. Can't believe we're getting to August's choice already. That leaves only 4 more months to choose from, and it seemed like, you know, it was like a big topic, but most of the year is already gone, so yeah, quite a big feat. Although I have had my blip in the middle of the year with my book hauls, I feel like I'm back on track now and I am focusing. I have got it out of my system, and I'm just going to buckle down and keep clearing those shelves. I have quite a few books that start with B and E, but not many that start with J, and it was a bit of a challenge really. So I'm just going to show you a few that I found on my shelves that I might venture towards in August while I'm reading my Shelf Slam topic. So the first one is B, and this is Belgravia by Julian Fellowes, and this is obviously by the creator of Downton Abbey, and I believe it's set in a wealthy household in London, obviously in Belgravia. It's the 15th of June 1815 and the Duchess of Richmond has thrown a magnificent ball in Brussels for the Duke of Wellington. The guests includes James and Anne Trenchard, who have made their money in trade, along with their beautiful daughter Sophia. Now that's new money. I know the upper classes didn't like them. It is a night to remember, but one that is tragically cut short by the news of Napoleon's advance. When the Trenchards move into the fashionable new area of Belgravia some 25 years later, they are surrounded by some of society's most influential families, but something that happened that night at the ball so long ago that threatens their new status. Behind Belgravia's magnificent doors is a world of secrets, gossip and intrigue, so that's just my kind of thing. So that's one I may pick up for August. I've also got the B, When Beauty Tamed the Beast. I know officially it starts with a W, but I'm going with the big first title is Beauty. And this is by Eloisa James. I read one of her books last year, which was a retelling of Cinderella, and it was so well done. It was really feisty, quite raunchy in places, so I thought, do you know what, I might fancy a little bit more of that. So basically it's going to be a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but obviously with Eloisa James's spin on it, and if it's got the same kind of vibe that A Kiss at Midnight had, I'll be more than happy with it. So I'm not going to read the back of that. So that might be one, because I do fancy something a little bit, you know, a bit page-turny, a bit like totally entertaining and complete like escapism. So for E, I have got Emma by Jane Austen, and this is a beautiful Penguin English Library edition. It's got that sort of buttery kind of, I don't know, silky feel to the cover, waxy kind of. This is the only one of Jane Austen's novels that I've not read, and I absolutely love Jane Austen novels, and I think I've been just holding on to it because once I've read it I've done them all and there's no more to come. I think I'm going to love it because I love the film, so I'm not a stranger to the story, and I've loved all the other books, particularly, you know, the big ones like Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion, so I may actually just pick this one up and then that's the end of the journey. There's always rereads though. The next one I've got on my shelves is a thriller, and this is Eeny Meeny by MJ Arledge, and I've had this for ages, so I was just having a look and it obviously it jumped out at me because it's got quite a bright red cover, bright red title on it, like it's all splattered smeared blood, and you know, who doesn't love a good thriller? And it says, the girl emerged from the woods barely alive. Her story was beyond belief, but it was true, every dreadful word of it. Days later, another desperate escapee is found and a pattern is emerging. Pairs of victims are being abducted, imprisoned, then faced with a terrible choice, kill or be killed. Would you rather lose your life or lose your mind? Detective Inspector Helen Gray has faced down her own demons on her rise to the top. As she leads the investigation to hunt down this unseen monster, she learns that it may be the survivor's living calling cards who hold the key to the case, and unless she succeeds, more innocents will die. So that sounds really, I do love a bit of a grisly crime thriller. So another E I've got is Excellent Women by Barbara Pym. I read the first Barbara Pym, I read my first Barbara Pym book in the last year or so, and that was Some Tame Gazelle, and I absolutely loved it. So this is the next one of hers that I've got, and she does do the quintessential English village and all the quirky characters really well. So this follows a story around Mildred Lathbury. Now and how can you not love someone called Mildred? Let me just say, look, they're having tea. She's one of those excellent women who are often taken for granted. Oh, I know how that feels. She's a godsend, capable of dealing with most of the stock situations or even the great moments of life. Birth, marriage, death, the successful jumble sale, the garden fete spoilt by bad weather. Her glamorous new neighbours, the Napiers, seem to be facing a marital crisis. One cannot take sides in these matters, though it is tricky, especially as Mildred has a soft spot for a dashing young Rockingham Napier. Oh God, Rockingham Napier! Oh. So this is Barbara Pym's world at its funniest and most touching. So that just sounds like a lovely summer read. I picked that one up because that had an E in the title, and that led me to one of my very few J's, which was another Barbara Pym, which is the next one in, and I don't think they're a series, but sort of the next chronological one that she wrote. And this is Jane and Prudence by Barbara Pym. So I thought, well, if I'm going to read a couple of J books, because I've got very few, then I may as well read the ebook. It's sort of telling me this is just perfect time. So this is Jane and Prudence, and it's just, again, it's got the teapot. And this says, if Jane Cleveland and Prudence Bates seem an unlikely pair to be walking together at an Oxford reunion, neither of them is aware of it. They couldn't be more different. Jane is a rather incompetent vicar's wife. There's always vicar's wives in Barbara's books. Who always looks as if she's about to feed the chickens, while Prudence, a pristine hothouse flower, has the most unsuitable affairs. With the move to a rural parish, Jane is determined to find her friend the perfect man. She learns, though, that matchmaking has many pitfalls as housewifery or housewifery. I don't know how you say that, because that is not something I want to have in my vocabulary, housewifery. So the last one I've got to show you is just the only other J I could find on my shelves, and that was Jemrach's, I don't think I've said that right, Jemrach's Menagerie by Carol Birch. I've had this for ages. It is a beautiful cover. And it says, young Jaffy Brown never expects to escape the slums of Victorian London. Then, age 8, a chance encounter with Mr. Jamrach changes Jaffy's stars. And before he knows it, he finds himself at the docks, waving goodbye to his beloved Ishbel and boarding a ship bound for the Indian Ocean. With his friend Tim at his side, Jaffy's journey will push faith, love and friendship to their utmost limits. So, that is one of my two J's. I may read these, I may not, I think I've got quite a few other books on there that have got like E's and B's and things in the title. There's loads of those. So I'll probably make maybe a bit more effort to read my very, very paltry supply of books that start with J. So I will keep you up to date with what I'm reading and how I'm doing, and we'll have a chat in the comments down below. I will see you all soon. Keep reading. Bye!